Welcome to G&T Sips and Giggles. This episode, we're thrilled to welcome Ashley Scott, an experienced and passionate personal trainer, as our very special guest. Ashley dives deep into the realities of being a personal trainer, sharing the highs, the lows, and the unexpected challenges that come with the job. In a candid conversation, Ashley opens up about his journey into the fitness world, the rewarding aspects of helping clients achieve their goals, and some of the toughest moments that he's faced, especially when it comes to training our very own Tina. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to motivate and guide clients while navigating the unique quirks and hurdles each person brings to the gym. But that's not all. Our beloved segment, the iconic tonic, makes a return. And of course, no episode would be complete without our sip and share segment. This week, we tackle another listener question. So, grab your favourite gin and tonic, sit back, and join us for an episode full of laughter, learning, and lively conversation on G&T Sips and Giggles.
Everybody, good morning everybody, good afternoon everybody, hello, welcome to Sips and Giggles. My name is Miss Tina Legs Tantrum. I hope you're all keeping fabulous.
And my name is Glenn. Hi and welcome. And today we are super excited to have with us our very first ever special guest, who is none other than Mr. Ashley Scott, PT. Welcome to the studio, Ashley.
Thank you so much for having me, boys.
Yay!
Sorry, boys and girls.
You're very lucky. Tina already had her high heel off there, ready to crack you looks up the head.
I only ripped out the right hoop there. I can put it back in again in a second.
Feared for my life.
You be careful.
So we're super stoked to have you with us, by the way.
Thank you.
So look, we'll just go straight into it because we are limited for time, and Tina does like to talk, which you know. So
I know.
we need to.
Listen, there's nothing you can tell this man about me that he don't already know.
Shut up.
One of the very few men in this world who knows how I think, how I speak, even what foot is going to go in front of the other. Even if I'm in the middle of a dance floor, and that man would know exactly which turn I'm going to pull next. Do you know what I mean?
That's you done now. Oh, right. This is about me. Right. That's you done.
I was going to sing you a song, Pat. I'll keep it for the end. So listen, I've always wanted to ask you this question, Ashley, right?
Go for it.
I'm going to get stuck in. So this is about your personal journey, right? Can you share your journey into fitness and what inspired you to become a personal trainer?
Do you know what? I kind of... It was almost like there was nothing else at one stage, if that makes sense. I think I left school and I had in my mind, before I left school, I was like, I don't need it. My mind, I was going to the army. That was it.
Right.
So I don't need teachers. You know, I don't need to listen to what you have to say. And so, needless to say, flunked most of my GCSEs, scraped by with a few C's and stuff here and there.
Standard.
So went to the army anyway. And sure, it wasn't the first thing they said to me was, you need your Maths and your English GCSE.
Oh.
So I'm sitting at night time while all the rest of the boys are relaxing after doing a hard day's graft, having to do my GCSEs. So that was it. That was from that point then into the army. After the army, very short-lived career.
How long?
Wasn't for me. 4 years. Roughly 4 years after
enough.
school.
It's long enough.
Yeah, roughly.
It's about the length of an average career nowadays.
Yeah,
it is,
so very quickly knew it wasn't for me, and once I came out of the army, it was firmly sure in my mind I wanted to do something along the fitness route. So restudied on a few different things, and then stumbled. I actually went round different gyms in Belfast and left my CV in, and the first gym to come back to me just happened to be Arena Health and Fitness.
Oh, I remember that.
over in
remember.
Is that the one in Cityside?
yes.
Which
Yeah.
used to be Orchid?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Yes.
So-
On the top floor, wasn't it?
yeah,
was it.
a girl
It
called
was an awfully posh gym, was it not?
at one stage, until a certain person
Big
to my
milk
right
bag.
there ruined
Oh,
it.
we invited Legacy in and sure she brought the tone of the place down.
I did. Took a door off the hinges.
Well, they got back to me first. A girl called Pauline, who you're familiar with.
Yes, I remember Pauline.
And the great thing about Pauline was that she was by the book, and Pauline made me then do a year on the gym floor. It was none of this like you can today. 4 weeks and you're a personal trainer and you go and charge £40 an hour. That just didn't happen.
Right.
Pauline made you work on the gym floor.
Ah.
She made you clean machines, take classes, work silly hours, 6 o'clock starts on a Sunday, all those kind of things to sort of get you in line with what was needed,
Yeah.
for the gym industry. It wasn't like it is now, like I just said there, jump in and go for it and the world's your oyster. That wasn't the case. So Pauline, and I have to mention Joe as well, they really set me up. Joe was the gym, she was the club manager. Pauline was gym manager at the time. They really set me up in my career. Really, really did.
Do you think then, when you look back at then and then you look now, and you think that bit of natural DNA kind of learn your gym, go on the floor,
100%.
speak to your potential clients coming in, because then you have knowledge of what it's like to be like out on the field, so to speak.
The best thing I learned was that classes were your bread and butter. So if you came to my class, I could then transform you into a client. Do you know?
Right.
If I give you a taste of what I could do in a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
then you were definitely coming to me then for one-to-one training, because you knew I would flourish even more so. Do you know?
Right.
So the first thing I did and first thing I learned, especially for like I've mentioned Pauline and Joe there. I had loads of great people around me. There's a guy Aaron who's still there, another guy Barry Reid. They taught me to create a community. Especially Barry, because Barry had a great community of clients.
Mm-hmm.
So I did nights out at Christmas. We went and done mud runs, things like that created a community.
Yeah.
And that community has followed me for the last 20 years. You know,
Yeah.
it's kept me going, because it's very rare now that you'll have someone in the fitness industry for this length of time.
Yeah.
It's such a hard industry. It's ruthless.
I mean,
ruthless.
you're talking about classes that's given me pure PTSD. I think I went and done like a spin class once, and I must have lasted about 15 minutes.
Glenn, I was talking about this the other day, right? See when we
Dying.
we used to see over an arena. So we would have started at 6 o'clock in the morning. You'd have done a boxing class at 6:30 for maybe 45 minutes an hour. You'd have done a spin class at 12 o'clock for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have done body pump at 5 o'clock for another hour. And then you'd have done another spin class, and you wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Ugh.
I could not think of anything worse.
It
Right?
sounds like hell on
I can
earth.
just about get one class out of myself a day. Do you know?
It feels like hell on earth.
But class, like, that's what's really missing for me in the industry at the moment, and we'll probably talk more about that. But it's now it's very much jump in pictures and everything
Oh, yeah.
sort of social media.
Yeah.
way.
So
Whereas then it was real raw, true fitness to
So
me.
in 2014, a close friend of mine and I both done a body transformation, and actually I think in some respects what you've just said there is exactly that. The whole goal was to get to a photo shoot at the very end.
Yes.
And I mean, and we paid quite a lot of money for it. Now I have to say, I had amazing results.
Yes.
I put the work in. I done, I was at the gym every morning at 5:45.
Yep.
Part of the 5:45 club, because that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like do meal prep, but it was a lot of effort. And to be honest with you, looking back, I feel now that was a lot of effort for very little reward, only
100%.
because the moment I stopped going and I just piled it all back on. And actually, I'm heavier now than I was before I started.
Yeah, there's no with those the photo shoots and so on. There's no lifestyle created.
Yeah.
It's basically a diet.
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
And
It's not fun. Dieting's not fun.
It's not.
It's really not.
You need to create a lifestyle, a community. All those things need to go hand in hand. Many people feel when it comes to the gym because they're in a rush to get there. Do you know, like I suppose younger me would have been like that, especially when I first opened up. Then, on my own, you know, I felt as though I had to get results out quickly.
Yeah.
So I had to punish people as much as possible. You know, low calorie diet. You know, big weight losses. I needed 5 and 6 pound a week, and you know, then I soon realised people were coming back after maybe a year, and the weight was back on them. But it's because I had Christ them. Do you know? So I learned to make it more of a lifestyle for myself, for my clients. Trying to make your way in a market that's totally against that, of taking it slow, and it's been very, very tough.
It's pretty saturated now as well, isn't it?
Oh,
Because
massively.
Yeah.
like I have, through my 9 to 5 job, I have Gym Pass.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with what it is, but it's like it's an employer sponsored benefit where you can get free access to gyms and all the rest of it. And like in Belfast alone, there's about 20 that we can go to.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, you know, when I left Arena, I think it was 2012, 13 and around there, and opened up on my own. And see, then there was maybe could have named 10 gyms in Belfast. Now I could name 10 on the same road where I opened up. Do you
there's
know?
a lot, like, there is
Crazy.
a lot.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Saturation is not the word. It's it was once a great place to be in, the fitness industry. Now it is a totally saturated, ruthless market. You
That's
know?
it. And you don't even have to be in the gym now to work out as well, because there's a whole bunch of do-it-yourself at home apps. That
Yeah.
sort of
Yes,
like the
which I
fitness
think
apps and,
I think is a good thing. Do you know, this is the other part. This brings you on the myths and so on of the gym.
well, actually, that's a nice link, because
Yeah.
I was going to ask what are some of the common myths
Yeah.
that you might encounter, and how do you go about debunking them? Because I have a whole bunch of gym myths that live in my head rent free for quite a while. But it was like when we done our body transformation, the instructor told us at the time, you know, actually your abs are created through the kitchen.
Yeah,
Is essentially what he
100%.
said, and I could never understand that, because naturally the more you eat, then
No, the biggest thing you just said there about programs and stuff you can do outside the gym. People think that you need a gym to lose weight, or the gym's only for losing weight. Why does she go to the gym? She's too skinny. You know, same as calling somebody too fat. There's so many myths and things out there. But first of all, you don't need a gym to lose weight. It is certainly done in the kitchen, 100%. Do you know that age-old saying of you can't outrun a bad diet? You can't. It's 100% on the money. There's so many myths. I actually listed a few. The biggest one, and this is one that I definitely want to pick up on, is the targeting of fat burn. Many people think, and I get this all the time, actually, why don't you do crunches? Why don't you do sit-ups? Why is my stomach not getting, do you know? A sit-up won't do anything for your stomach. Do you know, it's very minimal effect. What you're trying to do is burn calories, burn fat, and you do that through big movements, running, you know, squats, deadlifts. All those things will burn big calories.
so cardio over resistance. Is that sort of-
Cardio and resistance, you know, a mixture of both. It's like anything when it comes to that. Everything's about balance, but you can't target a certain area. You know, 100 sit-ups a day is not going to get you a flat stomach. You know, it's not going to do it. You need to do big movements that will burn that core area. But the main thing then is food and simplicity. There's so many things out there, and this is what people have to remember. Protein companies and all those kind of things, they're trying to sell you their product. They're going to tell you whatever you want to hear. You don't need a protein powder. You know, you don't need any pill. You don't need nothing. All you need is a calorie-controlled diet, you know, and that all comes down to simplicity. You were taught to eat 3 meals a day. There's a reason for that. Breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. Do you know, when were you ever taught not to eat apart from a 3-hour window in a day?
yeah.
Do you know, some of the things that are out there at the moment, they're madness.
I suppose that the big sell in that, a lot of it, they try to sell it that it's backed by science.
Bonkers.
And when you sort of make that claim, you instantly buy into that. Well, somebody somewhere has done the research on this, therefore
Bonkers.
it must be right,
Don't
and
get
we
me
must
wrong.
buy into it.
Yeah, many ways to skin a cat,
Yeah.
100%. But you can eat, you can get everything that you need through your food. All the nutrients, all the protein that you want, you get it all through your food. There is no quick fix. Definitely not. I could certainly stick you on a load of fat burners and a very, very low calorie diet, and we'll soon see you waste away. No problems. But is that going to last? Definitely not.
Tell me this. What are your views on the people who can't go to the gym, won't go to the gym, won't stop eating all of the stuff they're not supposed to eat, and then go off abroad and pay thousands of pounds to have a tuck and a lift and a scoop.
The biggest thing for me there, Tina, is that their mentality will not change. They
Yes.
will come back from wherever it may be. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna, wherever they go, if they want to get whatever done, it won't change your mentality that you are an overeater. Do you know that is the biggest thing? And then you, what I've heard stories and so on, you're coming back and you can't eat even anywhere near
No.
what you were before. How mentally challenging is that?
You see,
How,
here's
how do you get past that?
so if, say, for instance, let me ask you this. So if I said to you, I have £5,000, but I don't like flan and I need to lose 6 stone, would you be able to customize a plan for me? Like, how do you tailor your workout plans for your clients with different fitness levels and goals? Because there's a lot of people out there who would love to be able to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, maybe even once or twice a week, but they need that guidance. Whereas when you're looking at people who are going abroad, do you understand what I mean? It's a quick fix. You're on a
Yes.
plane, you're coming home, and all of a sudden you're starved and you're only allowed water for 6 weeks and things like that. My question is this: if someone said to you, I was going to spend £5,000 going abroad, if I give you 5,000, would you give me the same results?
I would definitely give you the same results, but it's then about patience. Do you know?
It's the realistic expectation,
yeah.
isn't it? It's
Yes,
about being.
it's patience, and by the way, it's not going to cost anywhere near 5,000. I wish it would, but it's patience. You're definitely going to save yourself a lot of money, pain, and mental torture. And one of the biggest things that people miss about the gym is that it's good for the soul.
Absolutely.
It's good for your head.
Yeah.
How many times have you went to the gym and felt rubbish afterwards?
Never.
Never.
Do you know?
Never.
But to take that point though, I think there's how many times have you thought about going to the gym and thought that's horrible, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Because I would say that's the experience that people will find the most challenging. And I'm talking from my
Yes.
own experience. I have a gym membership and I'm lucky if I go once a month. And it's the sheer thought of going, oh my God, I have to go. And when I get there, I feel grand. And
Yeah.
you're right, after I feel great, but it's that initial.
I think a lot of people, sorry to cut in, Glenn,
You're okay.
are intimidated,
Yep.
especially the very first time they go. And I think the longer they leave it, the older they get. They would certainly have the drive, but I wish sometimes that people could experience the gym in a way where if there was some sort of introduction, you only ever see the pretty people on social media. You only ever see the 6 packs and the wee young bucks, and they're gorgeous and they're beautiful and they're stunning. You never get to see the really curvy grafters. You never get to see the people who go 4 or 5 times a week, and they are so friendly and down to earth. Because when you had said, Ashley, earlier on, it becomes an important part of your lifestyle rather than having to go to the gym.
Massively, and it's about choosing your vice.
Yeah.
The big commercial gyms, I feel intimidated walking into a big commercial gym. It's not for me.
Do you?
100%.
Oh, wow.
I prefer a local gym because I know that any experience I've had with local gyms, and I've had a local gym, I am desperate for your custom. I will bend over backwards for you. You're walking into a commercial gym, they don't give it.
No.
Shit, really.
definitely
Who's
don't.
walking
That's
in
true.
there?
Just a number.
As long as there's numbers coming in, that's all. It's
Yeah.
just footfall. They never go, because such and such is Tina here's. Is she doing well? What's going on there?
Goes back to your point about creating a community.
100%.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
where remember during lockdown we were all about community and everybody using local things.
Yeah.
See now that lockdown's gone, that's all run to JD. I can't really understand that train of thought.
Well, it's like anything else. Also, when you look at the any industry, where it be makeup, where it be hairdressing, where it be aesthetics, where it be PT,
Bright
when
lights.
the nice, bright, shiny newness comes along, oh, mummy, I'm seeing me. I swear to God, what do you think? What do you think, Michelle? Michelle, I need that, but don't know Michelle, what I look like. Well, no.
That's generally where those intimidating people will go to.
Yeah.
That's why my advice is definitely, if you are feeling intimidated by a gym, go to your local gym.
Go to absolutely.
Go to your local gym, and
Yeah.
you will definitely come across a friendly face that will look after you.
And I also think too that there's a lot of people out there would love to afford a PT, but are afraid to ask and inquire because they might have a preconception of the cost. So people would have it already in their heads, Ashley, that number one, feeling bad enough walking in and comparing themselves to absolutely everybody and not feeling the best, not feeling the most confident.
Yeah.
Number two, it's the price. But what they actually don't realize, the beauty of a local gym is it's customized for locals, and you can negotiate
100%.
with someone, sit down and say, listen, here's my thoughts. This is my goal. This is what I've got. Can you help me?
As Glenn said earlier, it's a saturated market.
Oh.
So if you go into a local gym, you're definitely going to get yourself a bargain. And
Yeah.
within those local gyms, and this is my experience once again, that's where the best trainers tend to be. The big commercial gyms, and I'm not knocking them. Look, if you want to go to a commercial gym, I'm all for it. Go for it. Just do your own thing. Most of them open 24 hours. If you want to just go in and out as you please, grand. But when it comes to the local side of things, we are definitely about the person. We go that extra mile. I certainly do in my experience. It's all about going the extra mile because I want to keep you. Do you know, I
Yeah.
want to make it your lifestyle. It benefits me that you flourish and blossom under my watch. So for me, going local, you will definitely get yourself a bargain and you'll probably get yourself a better trainer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break right now. We're going to just...
We'll be right back after these messages.
Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tina Legs here with Glenn Marshall Adams
Yes, thank you. Welcome back.
and our very special guest, Ashley Scott.
Still surviving.
He's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley, I wanted to ask you this week because I'm very interested in this. What current trends in the fitness industry do you find most promising or concerning?
I kind of struggle with promising. The fitness industry at the moment, is it lost a little? I feel it is. I think going back to what I said earlier about PTs and you know, I was first taught that, you know, I'd done my qualifications, then I had to do a year on the floor. Now it's just littered with anyone.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, like, you had to have a special quality to take a classroom full of maybe 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
That's lost now.
Okay.
Do you know, all I see on social media and so on is people crying out for good classes and, do you know, things of that nature. Quality, yeah, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like, there's lots of great coaches, really is. But for me, bread and butter fitness was about a good classroom, a spinning class, you know, body pump, anything along those lines, and that's very much lost. It's
Right.
very much now went down the route of one-to-one training. That's get you jacked or that's get you skinny.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
sorts of things. So the fine positives, I work in, I'm working at a Game Force gym. I had ASF for a long time.
And ASF is Ashley's...
It's my own brand. That's Ashley Scott
Fitness.
Fitness. you
Ashley
know.
Scott Fitness.
So we had ASF for
Years.
just over 10 years. And a guy called Brendan came along and wanted to acquire one of the units where I was. And deal was struck anyway. So Brendan opened Game Force, and it's created a great spot full of loads of great trainers within the building. It for me embodies what a gym should be now. Do you know, there's everything within it. The new commercial gym there that's opened, jumping back to JD, it has brought in now weightlifting side, which is flourishing. The Olympic lifting, all those type of things are really flourishing now within the local communities. So for me, that's probably the number one sort of positive about the gym industry, is that it has definitely broadened its wings. The biggest negative now is, I don't know if you have probably seen this, but it's the bodybuilding side. It has really came back to the forefront,
Big time.
and especially in females. Now, this it's the same again. It's different courses, whatever, you know, whatever suits you, horses. But for me, females and males too, filling themselves full of testosterone to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not the fitness industry. Where's the fitness in that? Who is gaining out of that? I don't get it. You're putting yourself under so much pressure. Your heart, for a start.
And mentally as well.
Mentally, it's so intense, and I just don't get it. For a pitcher, generally it's for a pitcher, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest downfall at the moment for me.
And I think you touched on like mental health aspect there, like from like the services that you provide, like how do you go about integrating and taking care of someone's mental health?
Well, the amount of clients that I've had and their mental health and their relationship with food is so low because of trainers that are going down that route of let's starve you, let's fill you full of tablets, testosterone test. There's a thing going about called test, giving you more of the male hormone and whatever. Females especially getting that. They're being pressured so much, and it's really affecting them. The big thing, the relationship with the food. So if you're not eating and you're coming in low esteem, you basically have low esteem then from not eating, and you're feeling rubbish about yourself. See, trying to change all those things. See, now you're not just a trainer where you come in, I'll take you for a session and you go home. There's so much more to it now. You have to deal with their mental health, deal with that big thing, relationship with food.
Yeah.
That's where I would go back to what I was first taught. You spend a year at least learning about anatomy, physiology, food habits. Nutrition should definitely be in there. It's not a big thing within a PT course. It should be number one.
And do you, as part of the services that you provide, do you sort of like take care of that holistic?
I myself
element?
went through a dietitian.
Okay.
Very friendly with a dietitian, and she made plans then for me.
Okay. That's good.
That I can give out. Do you know that one shoe fits all? Certainly, I have the knowledge and the experience to guide you, but I tend to go off that plan.
Yeah.
And I definitely would say to most trainers that's the way to go because they are way more qualified than what we'll ever be.
Yeah.
And especially now because it's rushed through. You know, in 4 weeks you're not going to learn dietary requirements. It's just not going to happen.
But it doesn't but your mental health and well-being and just wellness in general does go hand in hand with not just what you're eating, but obviously with, you've mentioned your exercise. So I think, like, I know that especially in 2024, you now start to look for, I know that I would certainly try to look for a plan or some sort of course or a gym where if I was going to sign up for a PT, I would be looking for a one size kind of fits all for me. We're now living in a time where everything needs to be done like instantly.
Yes,
so
yes.
people are looking for the quickest,
Quick fix.
the quick fix.
Yeah.
Whereas you would have had to have had a separate dietitian. You would have your PT. You know, you would have all these different professionals.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's very easy to package that all up and just sort of sell that as a package.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out earlier, for a fixed fee as well. Like you know,
Yeah.
it's very easy to do that
Yeah.
and overpromise on results.
Yes,
and,
of course.
and what have you.
Well, here, Ashley, tell me this. Can you share a particularly memorable client transformation story that highlights the impact of your training?
But I had a girl, probably was with me at the height of my career and got me at a point where I was all in, but I was all in the wrong ways. Like I referred to you earlier about diet and so on. Everything was crushed, you know.
Yeah.
I was so military standard, and then I was military standard with that. Going in with 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories, no max. Silly diets. This particular girl, just shy of 10 stone within a year. There was one day she walked back and gave everybody inspiration.
Was that 10 stone lost within a year?
10 stone lost.
Wow.
Just short of
Yeah.
10 stone lost, you know?
Wow.
And I thought at the time, this is amazing. This is going to set me on my way. And it did for a long time. It definitely did, because obviously results speak.
Yep.
And people thought this is unbelievable. And the local community, you know, she was so popular. Everybody loved what had happened. And then about 3 years later, walked back into the door with all of it back on.
Wow.
Every pound of it back on, bar 5. Bar 5. So
that
it was a bittersweet.
Yeah.
That was a bittersweet highlight of my, but it taught me a lot. It taught me that I needed to find a different angle. You have to be open to change within the fitness industry 100%.
So you spoke to us about your career highlight. Now I want to talk to you about one of your career lowlights.
I know where you're going with this.
So-
I'd slap a gubby.
So people might want to know why we invited you on, and that is because, of course, you
'Cause of
have
me.
been training Miss Legs for a number of years now.
Oh.
So the one question that I want to ask, only because you're here, is what has been, and this, you cannot use the sausage roll sandwiches again. We already got that one.
That was a cracker. Best day of my life.
I didn't actually.
Unbelievable.
To be fair,
I swear. she's standing in the football pitches watching this thing come over the hill
That's where you should have seen me.
with two. All I can describe is the two biggest loaves of bread I've ever seen in my life, and
brown
6
sauce
sausage
on
rolls
it,
stuck
yeah.
in between the whole lot.
well,
Yeah.
Coming to do a boot camp. The belly was coming first.
I don't know if
Unbelievable.
you heard last week's episode, but that was your question was
Brilliant.
featured on last week's episode. What was one of the worst things throughout all of the years of training Tina that you've had to endure?
Do you know, I'm used to getting my own way, and like see, like I just explained there, my way is the highway.
Or you've got your work cut out
See
for you
with
there.
Tina, you have no chance.
You've your work cut out for you there.
Diplomacy, I could be a politician when it comes to Tina.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Do you know? And it's all about Tina.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It has to be.
But it's been do you know, there's not too many. Like, Tina is my longest serving client, and I have girls that are with me 12 years, 13 years. Tina's there longer. See, to have that bond and relationship for that length of time, and not to have a crossword. Do you know, there hasn't been a crossword.
Well,
Never.
We're the same. I mean, we talked about this in our very first episode, and I think it just comes down to what I feel was just a mutual respect and understanding for each
Yeah,
other.
and being able to be straight. You know, you're straight with
honestly.
each other.
Yeah.
It's like anything else in life. If you love someone, you respect them, and you want to be around them, and you want to spend time with them, not necessarily morning, noon, and night. And I have an issue. I will come to you and say to you, listen, I need to talk to you about something. And I think, as what we talked about just earlier on, as I've got older, I've got that bit wiser, where I don't need to shout and bawl and scream and throw my high heels up at the ceiling. I can quite calmly say, can we have a chat, please?
Yes, and good people attract good people. Do you know?
Yes.
That's what I definitely have around me. You know, my clients are all very friendly with each other, and there's no one that you would say, bit of a melter, bit of an idiot. We all have that respect for each other. But I like to be top of the tree. Your woman here beside me owns the tree.
Also likes to be.
Owns the tree.
Is the tree.
Oh, yes,
can't
is
hear-
the tree,
here to
the
tell you
stars,
something.
the lights, fucking
Hold on,
everything.
you goddamn cotton picking minute, mister. I'm the roots of the tree. See, without the roots, tree not going to grow.
But honestly, we have a class on a Sunday, and some of the girls just turn up for Tina.
Do we Sunday,
Simply
a
to
wee
get that
Sunday
fix.
show?
Do you know?
A wee bit of
But I don't
banter.
mind that. That's part and parcel of
But
keeping
then
everyone
again,
together.
that in itself, you see, we go back to you learning your grassroots, your DNA of being on the floor, of learning the gym floor for a year.
So important.
It's so important. And then when you're coming into a class, and there's nothing I love more than to see someone I've never seen before, and they're at the class, and you go, okay, yeah. And you smile and you greet them with wide eyes, and it's not necessarily they're going to become your best friend or your new gym buddy.
No,
But I think it's very important, as when we touched on the whole intimidating thing. Oh, I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't go to
See
the gym.
a brand new person walking into my class. That's an opportunity for me.
Absolutely.
Massive opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially after get to know them and what their story is. If they give me a story that they're going the wrong way or they've had a tough run of it, that's my opportunity to make that person's life better.
Absolutely.
Do you know? And like, how many jobs do you get that opportunity to do that?
No, you definitely don't.
There's very, very few. I have that unique opportunity. I have some young kids that I train, all different things, learning difficulties and confidence issues, stuff like that, and they flourish. The gym is really a place for them to flourish, and that's probably my biggest what can I say? It's biggest passion at the moment. I absolutely love doing that for younger people.
So unfortunately, we've run out of time. Can you believe it, Ashley?
I can't wait to come back.
Yay!
There's
Would you come back?
So much more I want to say, especially on you.
Hasn't he been
Especially on you.
Oh, thank you.
I think we should we'll let this episode extend. We should have this. The next 15 minutes is the Tina. It's the Tina.
It's the
Tina
first
segment.
Dress down.
First time in years I've had to sit and bite my tongue and chew my thumbs.
It's been lovely. Lovely.
Oh, we're going to talk about this.
There's many a times I've talked about myself. Jerry, how's your day? And you talk and you just see his eyes glazing over. He's not listening to you. Not listening to you.
Her
You ever
eyes,
get that, Glenn?
I get that quite a lot, to be fair.
her eyes glazing over. Yeah.
Her.
No, yeah. No.
But yes, Ashley, thank you so much for coming in. It's been great. We'd love you to stay around for our next segment, which is our iconic tonic.
Perfect.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll be
Love
right
to.
back after this. Tina's
tips.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to anybody. You are perfect the way you are.
Tina's tips.
My Iconic Tonic.
So, welcome back. So, this is our Iconic Tonic segment where we talk about the things that inspire us, the people, items, just things in general that for this week we want to share with you that we feel are iconic. We've asked Ashley to stay with us, so we'll hopefully be hearing from him in just a minute. So, Tina, I am intrigued. This week, will you continue?
Well, I have always been an admirer of strong, independent, fun-loving, fearless women.
Indeed, you have.
I do.
All of your
I'm
iconic
a fun-loving,
tonics.
fearless woman myself.
All of your iconic tonics have been fun-loving, fearless, independent women.
Do you know who my iconic tonic is this week, boys? The one and only Miss Diana Ross.
Okay, yes. Queen
Born on
Supreme.
the 26th of March, 1944.
Oh, well before my time.
She was the lead singer of the vocal group The Supremes, who became one of Motown's most successful acts, one of the best-selling girl groups of all time, and she remained in that group until 1970, and then she went solo, and she's still present. Do you remember the song "I'm Coming Out"? I want the world to know.
Oh,
Got
yes,
to
the
let
queer
it
anthem.
show. Oh, she loves the gays, Miss Ross, the boss. She loves the gays. That's why I like her.
Oh,
So I do.
well, I mean, I'm glad that she's still with us after Miss
She's
Tina
she's
Turner
still
debacle
present,
from the
yeah.
last time.
A few years ago now, she was on the news because she was caught with a wee spliff in her handbag, or a wee clutch bag. She was going through LAX. And do you not remember that? It was on the news. Do you remember that, Ashley? No. Oh, she was a couple of skins.
Wow.
And she was scooped. So she was, and she went hell for leather. So she
Drugs
did.
for
She got away
mugs.
with it, but
Drugs
she's
for
Miss
mugs.
Ross.
Well, this week I have went for a singer.
Oh.
And I'm actually kind of raging I didn't bring her up sooner because she's been an icon of mine for quite a while. So this week, my iconic tonic is Ellie Goulding. So born officially as Elena Jane Goulding in 1986, she first debuted in 2009 and then released her first studio album, Lights, which was released in 2010, and it debuted at #1. I don't know if you've heard of Ellie Goulding.
Yeah.
She is an environmental
singer.
activist. She's not only just a singer, but she's an activist as well, which is, again, I'm looking for people as my icons who are doing more than just...
Who've got a cause.
Yes, they've got a cause, but they're doing more than just their talent. They're out there and they're using their platform for good. So she's an environmental activist. She's passionate about environmental causes and has worked with organizations such as the WWF, not to be confused with the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, but the Worldwide Wildlife Fund, and also climate action as well. She speaks often and candidly about mental health and her struggles with anxiety and panic attacks. And she does also advocate for mental health awareness and support. And my favorite, she is a stickler for all things LGBTQIA+. She is out there as a strong supporter of LGBTQ+ rights and has participated in prides as well. And of course, many of her songs, if you've listened to them, they're about self-empowerment and acceptance and love, which resonates deeply with not just me, but of course the LGBTQ community as well. The one thing that really stood out is her 2015 album, Delirium. Do you ever have an album that you hear, Tina, that as soon as you hear it, it instantly transports you back to a time in your life?
Yeah.
So her Delirium album took me right back to a not so great time in my life.
was
However, all of the songs in there, the only way I can describe it is kind of like made me feel kind of safe. So even though there was shit going on around me, when I hear the album, I'm thinking, I knew all that was going on, but I don't know. The music transcended me to somewhere else anyway.
See, I'm like that with the Supremes.
100%.
I'm a bit of an older woman, you see.
Mine was Westlife. Oh,
It's Westlife, your iconic tonic.
no. But the album, do you know that you go back
When
to?
you're looking like that.
Oh my, do you know?
Everybody's
Seasons in the Sun.
for
Oh,
that
loved it.
something.
Loved it.
So yes, this week for me, Miss Ellie Goulding is in fact my iconic tonic. So, Mr. Scott, over to you. Do you have an iconic tonic?
Put me on the
Who
spot.
is your iconic tonic, Babs?
Can I give you a place?
Yes.
So my iconic tonic place is it's Ibiza. Go to Ibiza. Once in your life, go to Ibiza.
Well, it's actually on one of our stops on our holiday.
Amazing. Ibiza is for everybody, right? First and foremost. But it will do things to your soul that I cannot describe. Ibiza will give you everything you want. Everything. Passion.
Peace.
Everything that you can describe that you want from a holiday, Ibiza will give you it. And it's the mainstream media will tell you it's a party. It's not a party island. There's a strip like at every other place, but Ibiza will bring out a different side of you.
Sam and I used to go to Ibiza quite a lot. We used to go every year for about 9-10 years in a row, and we always used to stay and play at Mombasa.
Yes.
Loved playing in Boston because it wasn't crazy. It was very nice. It was very normal. And if you wanted to go to up the strip in San Antonio, but we went to the Old Town where all the gay bars and the gay clubs and all were. Yeah,
We're going to the Old Town.
Stunning.
Fabulous. The Old Town.
See Ibiza Old Town, and then the town that's set in Ibiza. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
just unbelievable, and it will bring out a side of you that you just did not.
I'm already gushing. I can't wait.
See a sunset, a cafe mambo with a cold beer, and there's just nothing better. And everybody around you is just on the same vibe. It's just chill
and watch the sun go
in
down.
In this life, where do we chill? There's no chill. You work. And we get. What do we get? 2 days where we don't work. And what do we have to cram into those 2 days? No, life's for living, and Ibiza is definitely the place to go do that. On that, eat the chocolate bar as well. Eat the chocolate bar.
Yeah, I do believe when you go on holiday, Ashley, now you have to agree with
Eat
me
the chocolate bar.
Eat the chocolate.
100%.
Have the burger.
Definitely.
Drink
you
the
don't,
gin.
You don't need to tell me that twice. We're working on a cruise, and it's all inclusive. And I mean, we joke about this often, but you sort of find yourself, everything becomes an E. And what I mean by that is you get like 10sies, 11sies, 12sies, onesies, twosies, and because you're on a cruise ship, a lot of the pool decks, there's always like an outdoor sort of barbecue area, and you can smell the food. So you sort of go up to have a wee nosy, and you think, I'll just take a wee plate, and you think, look, there's some salad, and then before you realise that you've got fries, a pizza, burgers on there.
This goes back to the lifestyle. You do it because when you come back, you can put the hard work in. 100%. What are you really training for? Life is not a given. Any of us can wake up tomorrow and it could be taken away from us. So live it, and don't be afraid to go and eat and drink and do whatever you need to do. Come back, put the hard work in, and go do it all over again. Don't live for that photo. Stuff that, carry on. Don't live for that.
Stop the comparisons. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody else.
Yeah.
You do you.
100%.
Ditto. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
loved
you,
it.
It's been
Mr.
an absolute
Ashley
pleasure.
Sip and share.
Okay, this week we have a question, and it's a WhatsApp question. It's a voice note. This comes in from a Mr. Sean Fraser, and this is his question.
Hello, Tina and Mushroom. Mushroom. Tina, I have a question for you. So, we know you're a big supporter of Pride, but which is your favourite parade? Because I know you travel a lot. Is it Belfast, Dublin, Gran Canaria, Benidorm? Which is the best? Thank you.
The best Pride is always Belfast.
Do you know, we always manage to miss Belfast Pride.
Yeah.
We always book a holiday we always manage to book the holiday over Belfast.
I mean, I've been to many, don't get me wrong, and they're all amazing. And I love that whole community to feel, and everybody celebrating life and love and equality. But there's no place like home.
No, Belfast could be a great place.
Aye.
Oh, it can be amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing.
Especially, and I'm looking forward to this year's Prides.
Oh, have you got anything exciting you want to share with us?
I have, but not yet.
Okay. That was nearly an exclusive, people. Sorry, I had to try.
You need to tune into the next one.
So that unfortunately is the end of yet another episode of G&T Sips and Giggles. Don't forget that if you would like to get in touch with us, you'll find all of the information and all of the ways of getting in touch with us in the description of this episode. I'd like to thank Mr. Ashley Scott for coming in and joining us today.
You're most welcome.
Tina, it's been a pleasure as always.
Oh, my darling Mushroom. I could just squish you. You are my wee
Do you mean
angel.
like a mushroom?
Yeah.
I was told this story, do you know, about the mushroom.
I can handpick you anytime I want.
Could not
love
wait
you.
to tell me the story.
You're my wee button. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this episode with the wonderful Mr. Ashley Scott and his insight into the last 20 years of being a very successful, passionate winner of a PT. Ta-ra!
Yeah, we'll be back again in a week. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at G&T Pod. Also, thank you to those people that took the time to write in a question. If you would like to write in a question or send us a voice note, you'll find the details in the description of this episode. And of course, if we haven't already asked enough of you, please subscribe and leave a review, but be kind. Much love, G&T.